Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 5, verse number 1. We will read the summary of the chapter first. In this chapter, the destination of persons who are inimical to the worship of Lord Hare, who are unable to control their own senses, and who are not peaceful, is examined, along with the different names, forms, and modes of worship of the personality of Godhead in each yuga. From the face, arms, thighs, and feet of the primeval person Lord Vishnu are born correspondingly and in order of the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance, the four varnas, Brahmana and so on, and also the four different ashrams. If the members of the four varnas and four ashrams do not worship Lord Sri Hare, who is himself directly the origin of their own creation, they will simply fall down. Among these classes, women and Shudras, who generally have no contact with the hearing and chanting of Hari Katha, are on account of their very ignorance special candidates for the mercy of great souls. The members of the other three varnas, becoming fit for achieving the lotus feet of Hari by second birth through Vedic initiation, Shrauta Janma, nevertheless become confused by concocted interpretations of the Vedas. Presuming themselves to be great scholars, although not understanding the essential meaning of karma, they become flatterers of other deities in their greed for fruitive results and ridicule the devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are fixed in family life, attached to mundane gossip, and indifferent to the devotional service of Vishnu and the Vaishnavas. They are maddened by material opulences and pleasures, devoid of real discrimination and intelligence, and always function on the mental platform. But such attachment to family life and so on is most natural for the mass of people, even though it is against the best advice of Shastra. To become disentangled from such life in all respects is the principal teaching of the Vedas. Real wealth is that conducive to the faithful execution of the duty of the soul, not that which exists simply for selfish sense gratification. As a consequence of the desire to indulge the senses, men and women couple together to produce children, engaging in animal slaughter apart from that necessary for performance of sacrifice. These human animals themselves suffer violence in the next life. If because of excessive greed for one's own pleasure, one commits violence against living beings, he is also attacking Lord Sri Hare, who is present in the bodies of all living entities as the super soul. Upon Lord Vasudev, ignorant self-cheaters completely carry out their own ruination and enter into hell. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Hare, accepts in each of the different yugas, various colors, names, and forms, and is worshipped by various prescribed processes. In Satyuga, the Supreme Lord is white in complexion, has four arms, dresses as a brahmachari, is known by such names as Hansa, and is served by the practice of meditational yoga. In Treta Yuga, he is red in color and four-armed, is a personification of sacrifice, is characterized by the symbols of the sacrificial spoon, ladle, etc., and is called by such names as Yajna, and is worshipped by Vedic sacrifices. In Dwapar Yuga, he is of dark blue complexion, wears a yellow garment, is marked by Srivatsa and other signs, has such names as Vasudev, and is worshipped in his deity form by the regulations of the Vedas and Tantras. In Kali Yuga, is golden in color, is accompanied by associates who are his primary and secondary limbs, and his weapons is absorbed. Sorry. In Kali Yuga, is golden in color, is accompanied by associates who are his primary and secondary limbs and his weapons, is absorbed in Krishna Kirtan, and is worshipped by the performance of Sankirtan Yajna. Since in Kali Yuga all the goals of human life can be achieved simply by the glorification of the holy name of Lord Sri Hari, those who can appreciate the real essence of things praise Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, many people in South India, Dravid Desh, in places where the Tamarparni, Kritamala, Kaveri, and Mahanadi rivers flow, will be dedicated to the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. Persons who give up all false ego and take full shelter of Lord Hari are no longer debtors to the demigods or anyone else. The personality of Godhead Sri Hari appears in the hearts of devotees who know no other shelter than him, and causelessly drives away all evil desires from the devotee's heart. Videraj Nimi, having heard elaborate descriptions of Bhagavad Dharma from the mouth of the Nava-Yogendras, offered worship to them with a satisfied mind. They then disappeared. Devarishi Narada thereupon instructed Vasudev about the ultimate shelter of devotional service. He told Vasudev that although Lord Krishna had become his son, having appeared in this world to free the earth of its burden, he still should not think of Lord Krishna as his child, but rather as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even by meditating upon Krishna in a spirit of enmity, such kings as Shishupal attained an equal status to him. So to attempt to say anything more about the perfect achievement of great souls such as Vasudev, who enjoy intimate loving relations with Krishna, would be a useless endeavor. So we recite verse number 1. Sri-Rajo Vacha Bhagavantam Harim Prayo Na Bhajanti Atma Vittama Tesham Ashanta Kamana Ka Nistha Vijita Manam. Sri-Rajo Vacha Bhagavantam Harim Prayo Na Bhajanti Atma Vittama Tesham Ashanta Kamanam Ka Nishtha Vijitatmanam. Sri-Rajo Vacha Bhagavantam Harim Prayo न भजन्ति आत्मवित्तमाः तेषामशान्तकामानां का निष्ठविजातात्मनाम्. वित्तमाः तेषाम् अशान्तकामानां का निष्ठा विजितात्मनाम्. माताजी. राज उवाच भगवन्तं हरिं प्रायो न भजन्ति आत्मवित्तमाः. Translation and purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Translation. King Nimi further inquired, "My dear Yogendras, all of you are most perfect in knowledge of the science of the self. Therefore, kindly explain to me the destination of those who for the most part never worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hare, who are unable to quench their material desires and who are not in control of their own selves." Purport. In the 5th chapter of the 11th canto, Chamash Rishi describes the inauspicious path of those who are unfavorable to the devotional service of Lord Vishnu. And the sage Karbhajan explains the Yuga Dharma avatars, the incarnations of the Lord who present the authorized process of religion for each different age. In the previous chapter, it was explained that although the demigods place obstacles in the path of the Lord's devotees, by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, the devotees are able to place their feet on the head of such obstacles and thus pass beyond them to the supreme destination. However, for the non-devotees, there is no such facility. As soon as the conditioned soul becomes indifferent to the devotional service of the Supreme Lord, he is immediately attracted by the temporary varieties of matter and becomes a slave of inauspicious desires. Thus, the conditioned soul, devoid of devotion for the Lord, completely forgets the transcendental bliss of the spiritual world, which is enjoyed in 5 transcendental rasas. Although the devotees are not overcome by the sense gratification offered by the demigods, the demigods themselves become absorbed in material form, taste, and smell. And similarly, those who are non devotees also become bound by material form, taste, and other sense perceptions, such as the sensuous experience of sex life. Thus, they remain hovering in a dreamlike state, imagining different types of material sense gratification, and forget their eternal relationship with the personality of Godhead. Vidyaraj Nimi now inquires from Chamash Muni about the goal attained by such bewildered persons. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we continue to discuss the questions and answers which Raja Nimi is asking the 9 Yogendras. So in the last chapter and before that, after hearing that the worship of Lord Shri Krishna gives unlimited benefits, gives unlimited blessings, is unlimitedly auspicious for the living entities, gives unlimited joy. Maharaj Nimi, out of compassion, he asked this question, that when devotional service gives so much benefits, so much nectarian, then why do some people don't perform? And what happens to them if they don't perform? This is a curiosity. More than that, it is an anxiety that in bicharon ka kya hoga. It's a pity that what will happen to such people. And it is rooted in compassion, karuna. A sadhu has compassion. He is compassionate. Para dukkha dukhi. When he sees others in pain, a devotee feels the pain. When he sees others in suffering, a devotee feels the suffering. Not just a devotee, even an ordinary human, when he sees others in pain, he feels pain. But if we are insensitive that we give pain to others, then that's not even a human. If I know this behavior of mine or this word of mine is going to give pain to somebody else, still I do it, then what is the achievement? That's himsa, that's violence. So even an ordinary human doesn't like to see others in pain. So devotees are more soft-hearted, they are more sensitive to others' emotions and feelings and bodily miseries. So para dukha dukhi. We have classic example of Vasudev Datta in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself glorified Vasudev Datta for his compassion. Vasudev Datta prayed to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that, my dear Lord, you are all powerful. You are the supreme controller. You are supremely merciful and magnanimous. You are present in the heart of all the living entities. So I humbly pray to you that please deliver all these living entities in the whole universe. Vasudeva is compassionate because he knows everybody is suffering and he can't see those people suffering. So he is praying, please deliver them. Delete their karma file and let them go out of this cycle of birth and death. Then he adds that if needed, you transfer all their sufferings to me. I will receive those pains and sufferings. Let them be delivered. Generally, we don't like to receive punishment of our own mistakes. We deny our mistakes. We defend our mistakes. We rationalize our mistakes. That I didn't do. He told me that's why it happened. Or because of these circumstances it happened. I didn't do. He is to be blamed. Or my childhood is to be blamed. Or my history is to be blamed. Or people around me are to be blamed. Or psychology is to be blamed. Everybody is to be blamed, not me. I didn't do. And what if you are told, take punishment of not your mistake, of your friend's mistake? Impossible. Take punishment of a stranger's mistake. You will commit another mistake. Vasudeva Datta is ready to take punishment of mistake or papa of the whole universe. Not just those who are loyal to him, not those who are favorable to him, not just those who are surrendered to him, not only his counselees, the whole universe. That is compassion. Hearing this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had tears in his eyes. The most compassionate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, having tears in his eyes, seeing the compassion of Vasudeva Datta. That's not ordinary. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in ecstasy. He said, Krishna will definitely hear your prayers. He will deliver all the living entities in this universe. And in order to do that, he doesn't have to transfer the suffering of all the living entities to you. Krishna is not such a kanju, such a power, power-stricken man, such a poor person, such a small-hearted person. He doesn't have to transfer those sufferings to you. You don't have to suffer for them. Krishna will just do it. For Krishna, it's not a big deal. Millions of universes are there. If one universe gets empty, what is a big deal? If one universe gets destroyed, what is the big deal? If all the universes get destroyed, what is a big deal? If the whole material world is destroyed, what is the big deal for Krishna? For him, it's not a big deal. But we value this material world so much. We value this planet and our country and our room and our cupboard so much that we are ready to damage relationships and commit offenses just to protect our property, just to protect our illusion that this is mine, this gamcha is mine. Just to protect our illusion, we damage reality. We damage our progressive spiritual life. So Maharaj Nimi is concerned that there is such a nectar available. Why people are taking poison? Are they foolish? Are they ignorant? Are they innocent? Are they lazy? Do they have bad association? Are they sinful? What is happening? You take a nice paneer sabji, puri, halwa, and go to a pig and say, have feast. But he will say, no, no, I prefer stool. What will you think? Foolish person. Bevaku, murkha, ignorant, nahi malum, doesn't know the value of halwa, puri and paneer, eating stool. You will get angry, you will feel pity. So all the living entities, they are running after fulfilling their material desires. When the greatest diamond is available, Dhruva Maharaj mentions this. Dhruva Maharaj performed tapasya, which is unprecedented. He performed tapasya at the age of 5. In first month, he was eating only fruits once in 3 days. Then second month, only dried leaves once in 6 days. Then third month, only water once in 9 days. Fourth month, only breathing once in 12 days. Fifth month, stop breathing. Sixth month, Vishnu appeared and he regretted. He regretted, I was looking for a broken piece of glass and I got diamond. What was that broken piece of glass in his perception? A kingdom greater than Brahma's kingdom. A kingdom greater than Brahma's kingdom is a broken piece of glass. And we foolish people are actually searching for glass, not even a great wealth. That's foolishness. So Nimi Maharaj is asking the Nava Yogendras, you tell me, what will happen to these people who are humans but who are not worshipping you, who are your servants but they have forgotten, who are supposed to love you but they have so-called love for family and property and objects. What will happen to them? It is a very precarious condition. What you are supposed to be and do, if you don't do that and do something else, even if you are successful in that something else, you are a failure. If a manager in the office is given an assignment to do sales of the product, and he goes to the office, takes a broom and the mop, and cleans the office perfectly, as far as cleaning is concerned, he is successful. But as far as manager is concerned, he is a failure, because that was not he supposed to do. So as an individual soul, I am supposed to be servant of Krishna. Living that, if I do anything else perfectly, it is not success, it is a failure. If I am a perfect husband or a perfect wife or a perfect mother or a perfect father or a perfect engineer or a doctor or a lawyer, I am failure if I don't serve Krishna. I am failure if I don't develop attachment for Krishna. Shrama eva hi kevalam is useless waste of labor. It doesn't make sense. First, our identity and fulfillment of that identity. But instead, the whole world is having a alternate identity and putting energy in fulfilling that alternate identity. How is that success? That's illusion. So all these people who don't worship Krishna, they are entangled because of their material desires. A soul has desire, that's natural. That desire should be to please Krishna. But if he reverses it, that I should please myself, that's illusion. That's selfishness. Especially when he thinks myself means this body. And because of that desire of fulfilling one's pleasure, one sees this world in a different way. Every living entity sees this world in a different way. If there is a what we call red rose on the street in a plant, and a goat passes by, what does goat see? Breakfast, fresh rose, tasty. A gardener passes by, what does he see? 10 rupees. He can pick up, sell it as a commodity in the market, 10 rupees. A girl passes by, what does she see? Something to decorate my hair. I'll appear more beautiful. She sees it as a decoration. A boy passes by, what does he see? A gift for my girlfriend, she will be happy. And a pujari passes by, what does he see? Oh, I can offer to Radha Rasbihari. There's one object. 5 living entities saw it in 5 different ways, which is correct. There are million living entities seeing same world, one world in million different ways. And each one of them is sitting on social media to prove that this is correct. Go to the goat and explain that this is not a breakfast. Can you convince the ghost with some good shlokas this is not a breakfast? Or the gardener? So people are sitting on social media, keep on typing to convince somebody else about their wrong perception, that your wrong perception is wrong and my wrong perception is correct. You can't go to a goat and convince. Can't go to the gardener and convince. And why this is happening? Because there is a desire. Based on that desire, we perceive the world. And because two people have two different desires, they perceive the world in two different ways. If there's a banana and a banana skin in one person's hand, 2 hands, one banana, one skin, and a cow comes, there will be no fight. The human will eat banana, the cow will eat skin. No fight. Very good. But if one more human comes, both want the banana, they don't want the skin, there will be a fight because there is common sense object. So all this conflict is because of these desires. And these desires entangle us. Because based on desire, I perform karma, action, to fulfill that desire. And that action has a reaction, karma bandhan. So we get entangled. So even if there is a desire, if I control my action, I will not get entangled. That's called Goswami controlling his or her senses. So those who do not have control, they get entangled. Like I gave example of a mouse, actual mouse, not computer mouse, rat, in a field, empty field, full of mud, sand. And summer season, the sand is very hot. So the mouse is feeling the heat, cannot sit, cannot lie down, cannot stand, cannot walk. So what will mouse do? The mouse keeps running in circles, fast, fast, so that it gives less burning sensation. But how many hours and days mouse can run? How many hours? The sand is very hot. So it has to find some shade, some spot. So running, the mouse comes to a point where it is shade, thanda, thanda, cool, cool. After hours of running, comes to a point. So stops. Wow, very nice. What is that? It is shadow of a cobra. So as soon as a mouse comes on the spot with shadow of a cobra, feeling cool, what happens next moment? The cobra eats the mouse. That's called karma bandhan. In the tap, in the samsara, in the miseries of life, we all are running, feeling the burning sensation. So we want some coolness, some relief. And what is our relief? The senses should come in contact with their sense objects. As soon as the senses come in contact with sense objects, we get relief. But as soon as that contact happens, karma bandhan, the cobra of Maya is there, we get entangled. It may be eating in a restaurant, it may be watching a movie, it may be taking a walk in the park, or it may be meeting one's partner. All these so-called relief mechanisms are actual entanglement traps. They trap us, they entangle us, and our duration to stay in hellish planet increases. So every time the process of yoga or bhakti is described, it is mentioned to control our senses, not allow them to come in contact with sense objects. The effort put to come in contact with sense object is called sense gratification, and that entangles us. And the senses are so powerful. We have examples in Shastras, examples in nature, that each sense, when uncontrolled, can lead to fall down and destruction. For example, the fish. The fish is in water, and you can catch the fish without going inside water by a hook. What does the fish see? Fish see a food and hook both. And fish knows this is a trap. But the fish sees the hook is in the center and there are two sides. If I nibble the food on both the sides without touching the hook, I cannot get trapped. So the fish goes and nibbles. Tasty food. Didn't got trapped. Only side the fish nibbles. Again the fish sees two more sides are there now. After you eat a side, a new side is formed. Again the fish goes, side I will eat. Again enjoys. And it goes on, and once the hook captures the fish mouth, and the hunter or whoever fisherman pulls. So this is taste, tongue, uncontrolled tongue. The deer gets caught by a hunter through sound. Deer can escape and run very fast. But when the hunter plays a melodious flute, the deer gets mesmerized. And the hunter's friend can come and catch the deer, no problem. How they catch an elephant? They make a hole in the ground, cover it with leaves, and send a trained female elephant. That's uncontrolled skin touch, sex desire. The male elephant runs behind the female elephant, maddened with sex desire. And the female elephant avoids the hole. But the male elephant thinks, let me walk in straight line. It's a smaller route, and falls in the hole. Gets trapped. And the bee who goes for honey goes in the center of the flower, the whirl, and the honey is maddening to his nose. At the night the flower closes, the petals are so soft that the bee can make a hole and come out easily. But being maddened by the honey, the fragrance of the honey, bee cannot leave the honey and cannot breathe and dies. And the moths, their eyes get attracted to the flame of the candle, so beautiful flame, reddish, orange, that they jump and commit suicide. There's their eyes getting attached. So Shastras explain each of the sense is so powerful that one can get trapped, one can fall down, one can be destroyed when the sense is uncontrolled. And in human, all five senses are powerful. Then there is mind, more powerful, six. Is it easy to control six? Very difficult. And then people marry, 6 plus 6, 12. Then they have a kid, 18. Then they want one more kid. Hamare do, hum do, hamare do, 24 senses. Life is challenging. So the only way is the senses should be used in service of Rishikesh, the master of the senses. With our eyes we see the beautiful form of Krishna. With our tongue we chant the holy name of Krishna. With our ears we hear Srimad Bhagavatam. With our tongue we taste Krishna Prasad. We smell the fragrance of the flowers offered to Krishna. We embrace the devotees. So when we use all the senses in the service of Krishna, they get purified. Out of which most important is Shravanam. Even we chant Jivadu, we have to hear. So we hear Srimad Bhagavatam every day. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Not Sunday Bhagavata Sevaya. Not every Sunday. Every day. So when we hear, we get attached to Krishna. And when we share with others, Krishna gets attached to us. He is pleased to us. And good news is we are having Bhadra Purnima program going on. Is that good news? So then all of you give us good news. It's a good news that we have a mercy available, that we can go out and give a set of Srimad Bhagavatam to various people. Just speak the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is going to happen like river. It is going to flow. If you jump, you will flow. If you stay on the shore, you will not flow. So the river of Srimad Bhagavatam distribution is happening. You jump, you flow. We should not be lazy at the floor just watching the game. That's no fun. We should go out. Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to create a revolution all over the world. And it has. Srila Prabhupada, when he went to US, he carried Srimad Bhagavatam with him. And he had that confidence that because I am carrying Bhagavatam with me, this will work. This will work. Ambassador of Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Amal Puranam, he would hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Jiva Goswami was instructed to go to Gadadhar Pandit and learn Srimad Bhagavatam. Everybody's, I think it was Srinivas Acharya, sorry. So everybody in the parampara, they are learning Srimad Bhagavatam, studying Srimad Bhagavatam and repeating Srimad Bhagavatam. That's our foundational scripture. So when we share Srimad Bhagavatam with others, we are giving Krishna to people. So each one of us should gear up. When we meet people, we talk about Srimad Bhagavatam, talk about Bhagavad-gita, talk about Prabhupada books. And in that way we please Krishna. So Nimi Maharaj, out of compassion, is asking, what will happen to these people who because of material desires and fruitive activities and uncontrolled senses are not worshipping Krishna? And Chamash Rishi will answer that they will fall down from their position. From a human position, they fall down to animal species. From a pious position, they fall down to sinful position. They fall down to Narakloka. It means wherever you are, if you don't worship Krishna, you fall down. And whatever you are, if you worship Krishna, you upgrade. So we are at a point in human form of life where we have a choice to go up or go down. To not worship Krishna and next life again become a dog or a cat, or to worship Krishna and next life go back to Krishna. At this, we are at the juncture right now. The human form is a juncture. Any intelligent person, when he gets an opportunity, he should not miss that opportunity. So we should not miss this opportunity when we are at the door of liberation to go back to the mother's womb, to go back to the cycle of birth and death. So we should be very serious in our sadhana bhakti. Okay, we end here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Any comments or any questions? Yeah.
Thank you, Puji. Hare Krishna. Puji, now this so much rain is happening. Indradev is stopping our Bhadra Purnima. What can be done, Puji?
What can be done? Nothing has stopped in Mumbai. People are working in their offices, going in trains and doing their work. So we have to continue our service with protecting ourselves from rain with umbrellas or raincoats and protect Bhagavatam also. So we have to continue. In fact, for this city, they say Mumbai spirit. Even in rain or shine, people work. So let's have a spirit. So we should continue. Okay. Anyway, we take 3 times bath. Little extra rain should not be a problem.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the wonderful class. My question is related to the purport, Prabhuji. In the purport, it is mentioned that if the demigods they are disturbing a devotee, then they are going to bound by the material form, taste, and sense gratification. And so, question was like, means they are getting some offense that they are disturbing the devotee's devotion, or means I may be speculating. I just wanted to clear, Prabhuji. Can you please throw some light? Thank you.
Well, sometimes there is a notion in the world that those who are Vaishnavas and accept Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead, they do not give equal value and respect to the demigods. It is true that demigods are not equal to Krishna. So they are to be served but not surrendered as we are supposed to surrender to Krishna eternally, because we are part and parcel of Krishna. But because of that notion of equality, which some people have, they tell Vaishnavas that if you serve Krishna and not Indra, Chandra, Varun, Vayu, Agni, Brahma, Shiva, Durga, Ganesh in an equal way, they will create obstacles in your life. So devotee doesn't have to worry about those obstacles. If the demigods do something also, the devotees are protected. But those who don't worship Krishna, they worship only demigods. Even if demigods give them results, they are still entangled in this material world. The very result given by the demigod entangles the devotee of the demigod in various ways. It may be a post, it may be a position, it may be an opulence, it may be a relationship. Like that. Like Indra in Vrindavan, the Brajvasis were told by Krishna to stop Indra Yagya. And then he gave rain. It looked like an obstacle or a punishment. But their attachment to Krishna increased. It didn't harm them. That was your question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Actually, my question is like these demigods, they are getting some offense towards, like they are disturbing the devotees' devotion. So are they going to get some offense? Because here in the purport it says that they are going more bounded by this material form, taste, and sense perception, sense gratification. So when they are disturbing, obviously they are acting under Krishna's supreme will. But then how it is mentioned that they are getting, like, material opulences and all.
Yeah. So those who worship demigods, they get results. Those results are entangling, even if they appear to be gifts or rewards. That's what is mentioned. Demigods getting offense is also there, is rare. Like Indra felt offended. That's because of his pride. But we should not think in that way. That because I am serving Krishna, so whatever suffering happening around me is because demigods are creating obstacles to me. For that you have to be a very big devotee. Demigods will not be interested in our small time practice. So we should not think in that way. Okay? Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Like
One more thing. In fact, there is a whole discussion about this in the previous chapter. Maybe you are forgotten. The purport line which you are reading, previous chapter, there is a discussion about it. Yeah.
Uh, you are mentioning like regarding distributing Bhagavatam sets and all. Like in general, it is little comparatively easy to distribute Bhagavad-gita and small books, but like comparatively, it's little difficult to distribute Bhagavatam sets, some known context and all. So, could you suggest some ways we can distribute Bhagavatam?
Well, one very important thing is to display the whole set. Let them see what we are talking about. And then tell the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. Especially in India, Srimad Bhagavatam 7-day Katha is very popular. So we can tell them that it happens from these books. And that Parikshit Maharaj had only 7 days notice. About to be killed by a snake bird who will come flying and bite him, poisonous bite. And we don't know whether we have 7 days or more or less. So we should start reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And second point we can mention is that Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna. So when you take Srimad Bhagavatam at your home, you are having Krishna at your home. A deity in the temple is Krishna after installation. Srimad Bhagavatam doesn't need installation. You open the box, Krishna is in the box. There is no installation required. Like a deity, Pran Pratishtha is done. And if you keep at home, it will be very auspicious. Wherever there is Bhagavatam, wherever there is sun, there is no darkness. Wherever there is Bhagavatam, there is Dharma. And if you read one page, 2 page every day, become a sage page by page. Right? And some more Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, we can tell them all the incarnations of Krishna, their pastimes are there. Lord Krishna, Parshuram, Matsya Avatar, Vaman Avatar, Vara Avatar, Ramchandra. So we can give that information. Okay? Yes, Madhav Sundar.
No, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for enlightenment. Prabhuji, in last chapter, sloka number 17, in purport, purport, it is mentioned that in Skanda Purana, the Lord appears himself and in the form of young brahmachari.
The form of?
Young brahmachari.
Young brahmachari.
So this is same Lord which is Hans, in the form of Hans, because in preface, in introduction, it is mentioned that Hans.
Yeah, Hans avatar is in Satyuga, generally called white avatar, and he is a brahmachari. In Skanda Puran, which you are mentioning, I am not sure which one is mentioned.
Last chapter. Last chapter.
No, I am not
7.
sure which incarnation is mentioned, because even Vaman avatar is young brahmachari. Bhishma Pitama said even Krishna is brahmachari. So, but anyway, this is Hansa avatar or Vaman avatar, I am not sure. Okay. White, when it said Satyuga, white, that's Hansa avatar. Next question. Ajit Govind Prabhu.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण।
मेरा भी प्रश्न प्रभु जी आज के परपट से ही है।
हाँ।
तो इसमें ऐसा लिखा है कि यद्यपि देवतागण भगवान के भक्तों के मार्ग में व्यवधान उत्पन्न करते हैं, किंतु भगवत कृपा से ये भक्त उन व्यवधानों को पद दलित करते हुए परम गंतव्य तक जा पहुंचते हैं। तो प्रभु जी, देवता लोग जो हैं वो भी तो भक्त ही है ना। ये जो श्लोक आता है कि दो भूत सर्वे सर्गे लोकेस्मिन दैव आसुर एवच विष्णु भक्त भवेत् दैव, तो जो देवता लग हैं वो भी वैष्णव हैं, वो भी भक्त हैं, तो फिर वो लोग प्रभु जी ऐसा क्यों करते हैं? और भक्तों में और देवताओं में फिर यहाँ पे क्यों ऐसा अंतर बताया गया है?
नहीं, तो देवता लोग भक्त हैं और एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में है, यूनिवर्स का व्यवस्था देखने के लिए है, और वो लोग कभी कभी परीक्षा लेते हैं कि ये भक्त गोलोक वृंदावन जाने के लायक बन गया है क्या नहीं। और परीक्षा तभी पता चलता है जब कुछ कठिनाई आती है जीवन में। जैसे कोई व्यक्ति में टॉलरेंस, सहन शक्ति आया क्या नहीं कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा? जब उसको कोई दर्द देंगे तो ही मालूम पड़ेगा उसने सहन शक्ति आया क्या नहीं। उसका अपमान करेंगे या हिंसा करेंगे या जो भी नुकसान करेंगे तो ही मालूम पड़ेगा सहन शक्ति आया क्या नहीं। किसी में फॉरगिवनेस आया कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा? उसका कुछ अपराध करेंगे और वो क्षमा करेगा तो ही मालूम पड़ेगा। तो बहुत सारे जो सात्विक गुण है ना, वो एक रिएक्शन है, एक रिस्पॉन्स है दर्द या मुश्किल चीज़ों के अनुभव में जो जीवन में होता है। तो देवता लोग परीक्षा लेते हैं। कुछ कुछ समय में भक्तों का वापस भगवान के धाम जाना का जो आतुरता होता है, उसमें वो इस समाज के नियम का पालन करने का इच्छा नहीं रखते हैं। ऐसा नहीं वो पाप करते हैं, लेकिन जो रूटीन नियम है जिससे बंधन होता है वो अवॉइड करते हैं। और देवता चाहते हैं कि सब लोग वो नियम पालन करें। तो जब वैसा होता है तो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हो जाता है। कंडीशनिंग लाइफ एंड कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल लाइफ। कंडीशनिंग लाइफ मतलब बद्ध जीव के नियम है इस दुनिया में रहने के, जो देवताओं को संचालन करना है। और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल लाइफ मतलब कृष्ण की सेवा में जो हमेशा मुक्त जीव का स्वभाव होता है। तो मुक्त जीव का स्वभाव का पालन करने के क्रिया में जो बद्ध आत्मा का नियम है कभी कभी नहीं पालन होता है। तो उसमें जब कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होता है तो देवता लोग परेशान हो जाते हैं, फिर वो इन्वॉल्व हो जाते हैं। तो भक्त को वो जब भक्तों को परेशान नहीं करते हो, लेकिन भक्त का भक्ति का आतुरता के बीच में उनका ऑब्स्टेकल आ जाता है। तो ऐसे ऑब्स्टेकल आते हैं। और ईर्ष्यावश भी होता है, जब बहुत भक्त महान हो जाता है तो इंद्र को थोड़ा भय हो जाता है। ये जो वाक्य है स्पेशली नर नारायण ऋषि के प्रति, जब इंद्र को भय हो गया, ईर्ष्या हो गया, तो उन्होंने कामदेव और स्त्रियों को भेजा, अप्सराओं को, उनको भक्ति में परेशान करने के लिए। ये वाक्य स्पेशली उसके बारे में है, लेकिन इन जनरल भी महान भक्तों को लागू है कि देवता लोग जो महान भक्त हैं उनका परीक्षा लेते हैं। जैसे रंती देव का परीक्षा लिया, देवता लोग कुत्ते और भीख मांगने वाले और भूखे व्यक्ति के रूप में आए कि रंती देव ने इतना महीना, इतना दिन निर्जल किया और अभी हम उसका खाना और प्रसाद मांगेंगे तो क्या वो देगा? अगर देगा तो रंती देव का गुणगान हुआ। दुर्वासा मुनि आए अम्बरीश महाराज के पास, इसलिए तो कथा आई इधर। अगर दुर्वासा मुनि बहुत अच्छा भक्ति करते थे और अम्बरीश महाराज अच्छा भक्ति करते थे, लेकिन दुर्वासा मुनि कभी नहीं आते थे, तो वो कथा भागवत में आती शायद नहीं आती थी तो एक दो श्लोक आता था, पूरा कथा तो था ही नहीं। प्रहलाद महाराज को हिरण्यकशिपु ने बहुत प्रकार से मारने का प्रयत्न किया, लेकिन प्रहलाद का भक्ति टिका रहा, इसलिए प्रहलाद को हीरो बोलते हैं। बिना विलेन के तो हीरो होता नहीं है। तो जब कोई विलेन नहीं है तो भक्तों का गुणगान करने के लिए देवता ही विलेन का रोल करते हैं। जब देवता विलेन का रोल करते हैं तो भक्त लोग गुणगान होता है कि हाँ ये अच्छा भक्त है। तो उसको नेगेटिव नहीं देखना चाहिए, ये परीक्षा के रूप में देखना चाहिए। ठीक है,
हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण। और कोई प्रश्न? हाँ, हरे कृपा प्रभु।
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for this wonderful presentation, Bhagavatam class. Prabhuji, you mentioned about we are running after this foolish desire of this so-called material desire, and you gave the one example of Dhruva Maharaj also. And Dhruva Maharaj regretted. But Dhruva Maharaj regretted when he saw the Lord in front of himself. When he saw the actually diamond, then he regretted. But as long as he was not aware of that diamond, he didn't see the Lord. He was not regretting. Till the time he was desiring for the greatest kingdom. Similarly, we are practicing, but we know the actual our real goal. But we have also not seen, like in that sense, the real Krishna Prema we have not tasted. So as long as we have not tested that prema, how we should prepare our mood or like that, still we are having that hankering.
Just see the diamond standing there. RadhaRasbihari, whom did you pay obeisances today? Stone or Krishna?
Krishna.
Really? So then that's there. So he is Sakshat present. And plus, if we feel we do not have that experience, we don't have to wait for that experience. Why don't we learn from Dhruva Maharaj experience? Somebody jumped from the top floor and broke his bone. Should you jump?
No.
Why? You didn't experience. He experienced. But we should learn from his experience. There are three ways to learn. The topmost way is by hearing. The second way is by seeing. Third is after experiencing. Some people don't learn that also. So our process is we learn by hearing. That's intellectual society. Right? An intelligent person hears by hearing. So we heard from Bhagavatam that Dhruva Maharaj, he did tapasya and he saw Krishna and he regretted his material desire. So we don't need an experience. We heard this. Now we have that kind of thought process and we do sadhana. That I didn't see Krishna. I have a material desire. And if I fulfill my material desire, I am going to regret it. So let me not fulfill it. Let me continue to serve Krishna. So we heard, we change. We heard, we change. That is what we are supposed to do. We don't have to wait for that experience. That's for less intelligent people. You are intelligent? Yes, right? So we hear and we change.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Any more questions? We end here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.